What is up, HDMM? I am Jamie from somethisandthat.com, and growing up I used to spend all of my free time at my grandpa's shop where he worked on large big rig trucks as a mechanic. And I remember cleaning the bathrooms, and he had this really rough bar of soap that my grandmother used to make for him, and it never really dawned on me what exactly it was until I got older. Now if you work on vehicles or semi trucks, you know that your hands are always covered in oil and grease all the way up to your armpits basically, especially on big rigs. So you need something that is going to be strong enough to get all that grime and grease off of it. Well, today I'm going to show you a little bit softer of an alternative to a nice scrub soap that is perfect to use right after you're done in the garden. It helps get all the grime and dirt off of your hands, and I like to use it after I'm done crafting because I am a very messy crafter. If there is paint involved, generally I'm covered in the paint by the time I am done. So this soap is perfect for those reasons as well. It just helps get your hands nice and clean and exfoliated without it being too rough. And today I'm going to show you how to use melt and pour soap to make this gardener soap, as I like to call it. If you make your own soap, you can easily adapt this to your own homemade soap recipes as well. But I'm going to use melt and pour soap today because it is easily available and not everybody makes their own homemade soap from scratch. So let's get started. So we're going to initiate some voiceover mode right now. For this project, you're going to need a silicone mold of some sort. I find silicone is the easiest to use because it just makes it easier to get the soap out. I'm using melt and pour soap that you can pick up at any craft store. You'll also need some salt. I use a fine grit sea salt, as well as any essential oils for fragrance and colorant if you want to add colorant as well. Now I'm going to start off with my melt and pour soap, and I'm just going to cut it into equal size pieces, and I'm going to put that into a microwave safe bowl. Again, if you want to use homemade soap, you can use homemade soap as well. It's just after you add in your colorants and your micas, and right before you're getting ready to pour it into the mold is when you'll add the salt. But we're just going to use the melt and pour because it is easily available for anybody, because you can pick it up pretty much at any craft supply store. Once I'm done cutting up all of my soap, I am just going to pop it into the microwave for 25-second bursts, stirring well in between until the soap has completely melted. If there are any small chunks left over, you can just continue to stir your soap and they will completely melt. Just try to avoid overheating your soap that it comes to a boil, because boiled soap does not smell good. Once everything is completely melted, I am just going to add in some of my colorant. I am using a soap colorant. Again, you can pick this up online or you can pick it up at your local craft store. And then I'm going to add in some fragrance. I am using a strawberry fragrance oil that just smells so yummy. But again, it's yours. You can customize it to any color, fragrance, whatever you want. Once my colorant and fragrant has been mixed in, I'm going to start adding my salt, and to do this I'm just going to continue to stir my soap while I'm gradually adding in my salt. For this I made 3 bars, and I used a cup of melted soap to about a 1/4 cup of salt, and then I am just going to start transferring it over to my silicone mold to harden. Now if you're doing a large batch and you find that your soap starts to thicken up and it's harder to pour, you can always just pop it back in the microwave for a few seconds just to heat it back up so you can pour the rest of your salt and soap mixture out into your silicone molds. And once it's in the silicone molds, you'll want to just leave it on your counter at room temperature for about 2 to 3 hours to let it harden completely. Once everything is nice and hard, you can just pop them out of your molds. This is again why I love the silicone molds, because it just makes it really easy to get the soap out. Now because there is salt in it, these soaps will sweat a little bit, which is completely normal, but they're still completely usable. And I like to keep a bar out by my hose, by my garden. That way I can just wash up with my hose and a bar of the gardener soap and be good to go and not have to bring all the dirt and grime into the house. So that is what I have got for you guys today. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to the HDMM channel, go ahead and do that now if you want to. It is a great community channel with a ton of awesome contributors to the channel. And if you like DIY and recipes with a nerdy twist, be sure to check out my channel, Some of This and That. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!